Well, this feels strange. It's not easy to start something new, but I'd like to share that I'm starting a new YouTube channel in 2025. It's taken a few months for me to come to this decision. However, before we move on, I'd like to share who I am and what I've been doing since the last 20 years. I've been in the creative field for about 20 plus years. I started off as an architect, and I've always been very curious and a bit of a mixed bag of ideas, problem solver, um, thinking that I can do anything in the world, but at the same time, just like you, doubting myself along the way all the time, and probably driven by some sort of a negative emotion that comes from, I don't know, maybe from my childhood, from growing up, from the creative voice that is in me that keeps telling me that there are better things to do out there, better solutions. And this all sort of came together when I sat down this year and things changed, and I started to look at how the world, according to my opinion, is going to sort of shift from this physical world to a very online world where, we've got a lot of social media channels in the last 15, 20 years. And there's been this dichotomy of the physical presence and the online digital presence. And the boundaries are pretty clear. So if you were to sort of look at some of the videos that I make, I would be like really focused, talking to the camera, like very animated, very deliberate. However, if you were to talk to me as a person, it would be exactly like you are right now. Um, there would be pauses. I would think, try to connect with you, and so forth. So, with the passage of time, when I started off as an architect, I was very much focused on becoming the architect and taking on that persona. And over the years, I realized that people change, situations change, flavors change. I changed several countries, and I came to a point where I was unhappy with what I was doing, and primarily because of the fact that as a creative person, you've got a lot of energy to create something new, to explore. Curiosity is always there, right? To explore this new world, and I'm sure you have the same thing. And this idea that sometimes nobody asks you what that creative urge is, but it's there, and sometimes you can't put a finger on it. There's this feeling, it's like nausea, right? It's you just there's something there, and feeling good, but in a positive way. So I've transitioned from architecture to several other industries, to the digital realm, to industries like sustainability, healthcare, manufacturing. Yeah, I'm forgetting a lot. Yeah, AI. Different types of AIs, like so, computer vision, and so forth. But the whole idea was that I always believed that there needs to be a framework that we need to keep in front of us in order to break down what a problem is and then find a solution. So I'm not going to get into that in this video, but I just want to tell you why I'm starting this YouTube channel. And these are the topics that I would be breaking down later on for people who are living in this volatile world, feeling exactly how I feel now, where we need to create a digital twin. And what I mean by that is the digital presence has to sort of mirror exactly how we are physically, because there's a huge possibility that people would stop meeting each other in future, and the only connection would be through this medium. And frankly speaking, there's a there's a lot of fatigue, I would say, of similar content on YouTube. And I've observed how YouTube is sort of going towards this trend where it's pushing smaller YouTube channels and people who are trying to be more authentic. And this is the word. Authenticity is something that I am in search of. And with this new channel, what I'm trying to figure out is in whether is it easier for me to go out in this world of 8 billion people and try to figure out where I belong? Or should I lean into my authenticity and then let YouTube do what it does best to reach out to you? And there's definitely a reason why you're watching this, because we've got a lot of things in common. Probably we suffer from the same doubts about what we do and whether that is something that we are really interested in, or maybe having that small voice in the back of our head telling us like, you know what, we can do so much more. And at the same time, I think one common thing between us would be that I've always felt that I never really belonged in one place. And mostly that lives in the present moment. So wherever I am at that point in time is where I feel I don't belong. And I feel there's a community of like-minded people that I want to sort of reach out to and let YouTube bring them to me. And the idea that 2025 has to be the year that we sort of dial into our authenticity and look at our values and what sort of drives us and find a method behind this madness. And if you're one of those people who've been trying to sort of start your own YouTube journey, but you've had doubts, right? It's like either the doubts which stem from the failures you've had over the years, or probably the doubts that sort of they're born from the fact that you haven't done this before, and you feel that the premise that you have, or the examples that other people are setting, but these beautiful sets, this lighting coming in, these beautiful sound devices, audio devices they're using, and fancy editing work is something that you feel is way beyond your punching power. This is why I'm here to tell you that the new channel, which is this one, is all about being candid. You see, like, you know, I'm sitting in front of a single source of lighting, which is a window. I'm in my studio. This is where I work. There's nothing fancy about this. This is how I live. And I want to strip it down to the bare minimums, because I am an avid believer of essentialism, and that is to cut the crap out and get to the point. And getting to the point generally, or sort of, requires going through the crap. So there's a level of patience involved in cutting the crap and getting to the point. And that's probably why you're listening through all of this, right? So in this, on this channel, we'd be exploring authenticity and themes that make us authentic, and how can we reach out to the audience that is out there, and how can we sort of create this as the main existence, which I previously referred to as the digital twin, online digital twin. So because everyone else is living online, there is a reason for us to now move ourselves online and offer our point of view and offer the way we show up in life to other people. And one of the most important things that I have written down, of course, that the different ways of doing things, right? And I've tried a lot of those different avenues. I've never been sort of 100% scared of failure, but I've been probably scared of judgment more than failure itself. And I understand it's very difficult to put yourself out there like this, and I hope you appreciate the fact that I'm putting myself out there unedited, the way it's supposed to be, the way you would probably meet me if you were to sort of knock on the door or ring the doorbell and show up. And I'd sort of pull up a chair over here and we'll have a conversation like this. And this is exactly what I want to have, a conversation which is a one-to-one conversation. There's no crowd looking at this. It's only you and it's only me, and we're having this discussion. And we're having this discussion because I sincerely believe we've got a lot of things in common, and I can really share things that have sort of worked for me in my past. A little bit of background. I do have a lot of online sort of, my presence is there. I've got my portfolios, websites. I'm very tech savvy. So those things are already there. So I'm not really afraid of doing anything myself, because I understand that this might not be who you are. And the fact that all these skills are really good to have, but the most important things to understand over here are things that are at the ground level, the foundational level, which is understand why we do certain things. What is the purpose of starting something new? How can we sort of get into the core of our authenticity? Because the moment that starts to reflect out, it would start to pull in the right people. And I'd like you to follow my journey. This is the first video. If you've seen this, the next videos are going to be about me sharing things more in detail, how to break down different problems and finding solutions. This is what I've been doing for 20 years. I understand pain points. I understand how to pull things together and then break them apart and try to build new things from what is out there. I'm very curious, just like you. You're very curious, and I'm going to help you help yourself, and it's great to see you. We never knew each other before this, so thank you, algorithm, because this is the start of something new.